Something burn? My lunch! Happy holidays, everybody. My name is Brett, and welcome to episode 3 of Ravenrock Woods. Now, when we last left the park, I had just got done working on this area. We talked about our B&M sit-down looping coaster orange thing, the power tower inspired drop towers, uh, our massive arcade cheat code, and our Game Over Grill. Yeah, Game Over Grill. And yeah, it was kind of a lot going on in that episode. It was a big one. I'm hoping that this next build here isn't quite as massive. Um, I still haven't sorted out the audio issues, so if it sounds a little funky, that's still what's going on. But I kind of have a new system, so hopefully I'm not having to re-record and re-record and re-record a bunch of times. But we will see. But yeah, it's time to talk about what we're doing this time, and we're just gonna go ahead and start building over here. I already have my idea of what I'm gonna put in here. It's only going to be this chunk for now. I'm not actually going to be doing like a whole area like I typically do. It's going to be something a little different this time. Probably going to be quite a bit of work, so I'm going to stop talking here and get to it so that we can see what I've got in mind. That's right, I'm doing a river rapids again. If you remember or if you watched my first series, Breakwater Point, I did add a river rapids to the water park area of that build, and self-admitted that I don't really know anything about river rapids or building one realistically, blah blah blah, and that really hasn't changed. Not gonna even act like I know what I'm doing. I'm kind of guessing that this is a little bit more realistic. I'm going to try and make it a little bit more realistic, but even then, I don't really know a whole lot about them. So even if it looks more realistic, it might not be. But don't hate me if I don't get it right. I'm just going to kind of wing it and hope that it looks good. So starting off, I do have what I would assume is a more realistic style kind of layout. It's much smaller than the one that I built in Breakwater Point, but it's a little bit more dynamic, I think. It doesn't have a bunch of lifts and big crazy drops like I put in the other one, because honestly, I don't really think that is hitting the mark when it comes to these. So this whole one has a gradual, what do you call it, decline to it. There are a couple areas that are level, but for the most part, it's got like a between a 2 and a 5 degree hill to it, so that you're constantly moving down without any huge drops or anything. But I don't think those really exist in these kind of rides. So that's what I went for. Like I said, it's much smaller. It takes up less area, but I think this is a little bit more true to what they would be in real life. As you can see, I did elevate the area. No real reason other than like what I did over here, where I kind of wanted just to have that varying elevation to the park. I will do like this all over the place. I am going to do another retaining wall similar to this one, if not like the exact same thing. I like the way that looks, so I will have that kind of going around the perimeter of this raised area. And I have routed the train through this. Not really sure how I'm going to do that yet. I do have a few ideas, whether I do like the retaining wall going through a valley kind of thing, or if I do like a full-blown tunnel. Not sure yet. Excuse me. I'll cross that road when I get to it. And then the plan is I'm going to actually try and use the terrain to build up around the river rapids rather than a bunch of rocks and supports and stuff. I want it to look like it's actually almost like the hills and everything that it's on are man-made. I have an idea of what I want to do. I'm just going to see if I can actually follow through and deliver that. But yeah, river rapids. Only going to do the ride this time. I'm not going to build an area up around it because, quite honestly, I don't know how I'm going to tie all this in yet. Still kind of thinking about that. Better think fast because that's coming soon. But yeah, I got a lot of work ahead of me. So gonna quit chatting here, and I'll see you back here in just a minute. Well, we are starting to take shape with this one. I didn't really know what I was doing going into it. I just kind of started winging it, and honestly, I am liking the way it's turned out so far. Uh, where do you even start? You can see I already kind of started playing with the terrain a little bit and bringing it up. Um, the idea is going to be to kind of keep the what do you would call it? I'm not sure, the edges of the rapids level with the terrain almost, so it looks like it's built into the terrain. I'm also considering actually covering the edge of this and then going through with like the rock paint and making it almost look like concrete so that it looks like it's part of the land itself rather than showing the edge of the rapids the whole time. Playing around with that still, haven't really decided yet, uh, but we're getting there. I think I know what I want to do. Uh, I also do have like I started going in and doing the actual like concrete, oh, I don't even know what you would call this. We'll call it it's not a trench, I don't know. Um, but I thought about doing that, oh, like for the entirety of the ride, and as I started working, I was like, dude, this is just going to take way too long. It's so many pieces. So that's where I came up with the idea for the terrain. I really like the way this looks, but I'm not really interested in putting that kind of time into it and piece count into it, if I'm being honest. So I'm gonna play around with this and see if I can get a more natural look for it, which is kind of the idea that I originally had anyway. So that's what we're doing with that. And then, as you can see, we have our loading station, which actually, you know what? I'm going to talk about that here in a second. The backstage area really came to life. I don't know, like I said, how accurate this would be. It's pretty big. They've got like this retention area for the water. Obviously, you can see we're like pumping water in from the ride, so like catching spillover, and recycling it back through. I have a pump house, which the idea is going to be to have pipes running this way, so it looks like we're pumping water back into the ride. Just a cycle and recycle kind of thing, back and forth. I got the air vents and everything going. More water pumps here. Got the maintenance area back here, which is pretty bare, but that's okay. I don't really want to go crazy with piece count over there. And then you can see what I'm doing over there. But the loading station, it's a little bit more simple compared to some of the other buildings I've already done in the park, but that's okay. I didn't really know what I wanted to do with this one. I just kind of started building, and this is where I got. And I was kind of burning out on it a little bit, so I decided this was good. Good for what it is anyway. I'm not trying to make it this big elaborate building. I got the corrugated metal roof, the Lincoln log style as I like to call it. But there's lots of clutter on the inside, which it almost kind of made it feel like it's like construction storage or something. I don't know. Wasn't really trying to like go for anything in particular. I just wanted to fill up the space because it's a huge station and I didn't really want to, I didn't know what to do with it, if I'm being honest. So I just cluttered it full of stuff and I think it turned out pretty good. No real theme or anything, like I said. It's just clutter and storage and whatever. But I did build some replica rafts because I wanted the backstage and the unloading area to feel a little bit more realistic. So not my cleanest work, but I did have a cleaner version, but I trimmed it down because I clicked on one raft and it was 12,000 pieces. That's not even an exaggeration. It was literally over 12,000 pieces. So I said, okay, I gotta switch this up a little bit. So I simplified it, dumbed it down a little bit, but still, I like the way they turned out. I think they're pretty cool. I mean, even then, it's still just shy of 2,000 pieces per raft. Maybe I'll put it on the shared workshop thing. I'm not sure yet, but yeah. Got the whole little like departure area here and like the area where they would be able to pull rafts out and work on them. And I even put a couple more inside this. Oh my gosh, camera work here, Brad. Get it together. Brad, same thing, same person. A couple more of the rafts is in the loading station. Don't know why, just maybe that's where they store them. Who knows? Yeah. Whew, that's a lot. and I still got more to go. But yeah, this is where we're at so far. Still got a ton more to work to do, so stop yapping. All right. Well, the project just keeps on moving. It's going a little slower than I expected, but I think it's worth it because I'm really liking the way this one is turning out. Um, didn't really change, but it did. As you can see, I did go through and add more of like the concrete retention. I still don't know what it would be called, but I got the big concrete walls, I guess is what you would call it, for like this area here, where we wouldn't really build the terrain up because of the backstage area. So we've got that right there, and then as well as right here, just because of how tight the tracks would be to each other. So I didn't want to like, I don't know. I just wanted some more of this exposed concrete, I guess, because I like the way it turned out and looks. It's over on this side as well. I did play around with it over here, but it was just too much concrete. I guess too tall, maybe. I don't know. I just didn't like how it looked, so I eliminated it from there. And then I did have like it was like a bridge channel thing with the concrete, but it didn't look right. So I got rid of that and did all terrain. And then, as you can see, because of that, I also rerouted the train around the outside this way rather than through the middle. I think this is going to be better in the long run because it would have been just all wall or all tunnel. And honestly, like with as far of a stretch as that is, it would just be boring. I want the train to actually be scenic to some degree and have, an enjoyable ride to it. So I rerouted it. I think it's more realistic this way anyway. I'm still not really sure how I'm going to direct the train and where it's going to go, but that's another episode's problem. Right now, we're talking about the terrain. As you can see, I did go with just the terrain, but I tried to make it look like a concrete channel, so it's rounded on the edges. So it looks like you're cutting through the land rather than in an actual river rapids ride. I mean, obviously right here it's a little different. I don't understand why the wider channels still have the little, I don't know, whatever. It is what it is. I like the way it looks, and I'm glad I did this, trying to challenge myself with the terrain work a little bit more too, so it's a lot of fun getting used to it, and I think it's turning out pretty good. But as you can see, still got quite a bit to do. This is turning into a long episode, so I apologize, but if you've made it this far, I appreciate it. If you haven't already, please make sure you like the video. And after we get to the end of this one, if you could like my other ones and subscribe, I would appreciate it. Anyways, I'm going to stop pandering now because I'm going to do it again at the end of the video. You're welcome. I will see you back here in just a second with more work. And that, everybody, is a finished River Rapids. And let me be the first to say that I love it. I think it turned out so good. Definitely better than what I was expecting it to turn out to be. I don't know. I didn't really think it was going to really evolve into this, but it did, and I'm loving it. I don't know. I don't even know really what to say about it other than I am just really happy with it. I think it turned out really good. The foliage, the trees, the rocks, the bushes, all of it just really helped bring everything to life, and it just, I don't know. It's definitely better than the first River Rapids I built, that's for sure. Aside from just filling it in with the trees and stuff, nothing really changed. I did add lighting and music, but we'll see that here when we take the ride. I did go in and add a handrail around the top of the concrete stuff, so in case somebody was walking up there, there's not going to be any slip and falls off the edge kind of thing. No one's going to break a neck. Safety first. And yeah, the ride is done. It came to life. The retaining wall's in. Everything's in. Everything just looks great. I don't know what else to say. I'm just getting tired of saying the same thing over and over. I did add this locker, custom-made lockers over here for the guests to store valuables like cell phones and wallets and keys and stuff so that they don't get wrecked from the water. I like the way these turned out as well, so I'll probably use them again throughout the rest of the park. Yeah, that's
that's going to be about it. I don't want to just keep saying the same thing over and over. This video is already pretty long as it is. So, again, my name is Brett. If you got to the end of the video, thank you so much. Please hit like. Make sure to subscribe and follow me for some more Planet Coaster content. And let's go take a ride on rough water ahead. Ravenrock Woods' River Rapids ride. That's a mouthful. Cutting it here. Take care, everybody.